Knowing why and what for essentially is based on your organization's needs. And while they may not necessarily be singular, they are specific. And once you've grasped a hold on what these are, then you'll be able to craft your message around the purpose of the site and reach the audience that you wish, whether it's an event, a project, product, or service. Of course, what is the point? What is the focus? What will be the focus of your site? What do you wish to accomplish? And what will be your messaging? What is it that you're going to say? Those are the things that need to be pre planned prior to looking at getting a website. You have to know that the site has to be built on something. And once you've identified these, you are off and running. I'm recommending the 20-minute business model so that you can begin to force your focus, if you will, on the website itself and all that it's supposed to do. A lot of us do not understand the power of the website. It is not just a part of your business, it is a critical part. It is a representation 24 hours a day of what your business is about and the services and products that you're going to provide. Building it yourself versus hiring pros? The short answer to that question is yes. Research, do your due diligence prior to prospecting, and research as if you're having it built either in house or you'll be doing it yourself. This way, you can acclimate yourself with what it is that you need to know so that when you do eventually go and query pros, which you are going to do, get price quotes, but also speak to professionals in the field so that you can discuss effectively what it is your organization needs and weigh that against what's going on in the industry in terms of web trends in your field. And then from there, you can begin to shape what will be the best option according to the budgets that is set aside or are set aside. Now, if you do have a budget and you do have things that you want, like bells and whistles, when you speak to a professional, they will be able to give you or should be able to give you options that will facilitate that budget that you have. Strategy, by definition, requires that you understand and know what your corporation's goals are. And from there, you can begin to start building out your messaging and connecting with your clients and customers in the market as soon as possible. Strategy deliberately leads you to your goals. So start with the end in mind. And your messaging should be short and easy to comprehend by the folks who are looking for you. Your why decreases your margin for error in identifying your brand. Pandora, in particular, I love to use as an example because though they have the same name, are in different industries, they are pretty much the top of the line in what it is that they're doing. Take, for instance, Pandora, the jewelry company, versus Pandora, the music streaming service. They have identified themselves in such a way where when it's mentioned in those industries, they know it's already understood who they are. And so I think that both of them have done a miraculous job in terms of brand identity because it's pretty much like apples. It's Apple or everything else. When it's Pandora, it's either the jewelry company or it's the music streaming company, and there is no one else at this point. Great marketing. Why invest? You invest because your budget determines what will come of your site. Understanding that you have to have a budget is something that's fundamental. Everything costs, whether it's time, sweat equity, and even collaborations and consultations. And so when you have identified what your budget is, you also have to dig deeper and find out, is there or are there allocations within those budgetary constraints that are specifically applied to the website design? There are so many tentacles to the design process that it is not just based on the design alone. So make sure you discuss that sooner rather than later in the process to eliminate any sort of ambiguity. Understanding the company's goal is very important. If you have an agency that you're looking at for your website design and they're not asking you about your corporation, the history, and what has brought you to a place where you need outsourcing, if you will, then that person is not looking at it from a messaging standpoint, but purely a design perspective, which there's nothing wrong with if you have internal folks to do that, but understanding the brand is critical in building your site. The concept is simple: differentiate oneself of your organization, your website, whatever it is that you want to do. There are millions of websites that are out there all doing the same thing, but no one is doing it exactly the same. At least they shouldn't be. Identify what your unique selling propositions are. Ask yourself, what do you do better than your competition? And then begin to craft your messaging or what it is that you want to say in your brand's voice. Let it be irrevocably irretrievable that this is your brand and no one else's. And that's the way you have to speak, whether it's a representation of your site through a website or any sort of marketing collateral that comes along with it. Companies that have mastered this are companies like Pringle and Dove and the NutriBullet. You know these people and what they're offering, and you're never disappointed. There is only one reason for a website, and that is to promote your business, your event, or your project on a 24-hour cycle, period. End of discussion. You do this for the sole purpose of connecting with and engaging your customers and engaging your customers and engaging your customers. The biggest mistake that people make is building a site and then expecting that people are going to come. Also, keep in mind that your website should also be bringing people into your site and allowing them to stay there for a while, peruse, and get to know your company, your brand, what it is that you're offering, so that they can tout your virtues in addition to yours. Hint, hint, wink, wink, free publicity. Promote your business and build relationships. You must use them together. And as mentioned before, the common mistake that's made is building a site without building organic relationships. You can pay for advertising. That's wonderful. You can pay for friends and follows, but you're not connecting when you do that. Like I said, the biggest businesses do that. That's what ad revenue is all about. But by the same token, we have to establish ourselves in terms of branding from our websites or market or micro blogging sites like Twitter and Facebook through our engagement with our friends, fans, and follows. When you get these folks to your website, make absolutely sure that you give them an option to connect with you, stay connected with you, whether it's through a subscription, a download digitally, or leaving comments so that you can better tweak what it is that's going on your site and your offers. And finally, if you think you need a website, you do. But you don't do it without due diligence and understanding what your brand is, what your brand says, and its impact on your business and the people who come to you for your services. Remember, it's about relationship building. And if you're not in it in order to facilitate the needs of folks in the marketplace that will come again and again, brand loyalists, then you're wasting your time. So, thank you for taking the time to look at us and give us the once over. Remember to comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in a few.